Hi, this is Tanya Francine with the National Weather Service Skywarn program, reminding you to keep an eye to the sky and listen to the XJ Talk Show.
Hey, greetings from the XJ Talk Show. This is the XJ Talk pre-show. We usually start this thing about 15 minutes before showtime. Running a little later tonight. I'm doing some special editing having to do with our interview with Kyle Mattia. You know him as the guy that dared to park next to a $70,000 Corvette that was parked catty corner, taking up 2 places. The nerve of some people. So Josh has joined us. I'm going to go back to my rapid last-minute putting together of the show, and Josh and I will be discussing stuff. In fact, he was making a lot of noise when he first got on here, so I muted him. I'm sure that his girl would like to do that from time to time. Anyway, I'm going to unmute him so he can talk to you guys, but I'm going to be busy.
Oh, Tony's always busy doing something or another. I've got... Music so. There we go. That's a little better. And while Tony's doing his editing, I'm going to head over to the XJ Talk YouTube channel and go ahead and log myself in there and chat with some of you folks who are joining us for our live broadcast.
Okay, I was just putting together a video that we could play behind the interview, which consists of a couple of pictures, the infamous picture of Kyle have already parked next to the Corvette, an image of Kyle himself, and the video that he recorded as he was sitting in the Red Robin restaurant waiting to get his fish and chips. I hate to do it, but I'm going to have to turn the audio down a little bit more because you're chopping.
I brought my level up?
No.
Okay.
Okie dokie. So, let's see. Where are the no-shows?
Guessing somewhere on one of your foreskins.
I'm sorry, did you say foreskins? How do you know about my collection? Josh just got creeped out.
Oh, I was trying to come up with a joke, something along the lines of, that's not calamari you're eating.
This bubble gum is very chewy.
I'm just going over one last time the show notes here, making sure everything is in order.
So, I have not captured any images for the Amazon thing. I think if we continue to do the notes like this, when I have more time before the show, I can get those JPEGs of the images that we're going to talk about. But what I think we should do is we either need to mix this up in the notes, or I'll do the ones that I've selected, and then you'll do the ones you selected.
Okay.
In other words, we alternate. But I'm saying that if we put it in the order that they're going to come, then I can get the images up in the future in the right order, and lessens my having to think much while I'm performing and working the board. So we could either mix them up. I kind of like the idea where I read 2 and you make comments, and then you read 2 or 3 or whatever you got, and I make comments. And also like the idea of you being the, whichever way, you being the last one to read one, because then I can be ready on the board with the buttons and the video and all the rest of that crap.
Yeah, that makes sense. You know, I like that. I think that could actually work out pretty good. So.
Yeah, so I think I told you the interview's like 27.
Oh, okay.
So we'll need to be wrapping up around, what would that put us, around 20 minutes? So we'll have some time at the end to say goodbye.
Sure.
So this thing goes pretty fast, especially with the faster intro that we started.
Yeah. I was going to say we've probably got more time than we do show between the start of the show and the 20-minute mark.
Oh, we always think that, but Oh, and by the way, Josh mentioned YouTube. Don't forget we have the live video up on xjtalkshow.com room. So if you'd like to come over there and watch the video and chat with us and others, please think about joining us over there. We're trying to get I like that chat a lot better than the one on YouTube, because the one on YouTube, they don't allow you to do a lot of things, and I just don't like the way it's positioned on the page. It doesn't make it conducive to seeing and chatting, I think, which some people may like. They may want you to not pay attention to the damn show, but I'm here for entertainment, folks, and if that means having fun in the chat and not listening to me, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, no, just fine with that. And the YouTube chat, I mean, it's a comment section. It's not really designed to be a live chat. Although it works that way, it sometimes freezes up, and people have complained about that as well. I am, for every show logged in on both, so you guys can interact with us, or at least me, with each, on either one. So you guys can go to either xjtalkshow.com or our YouTube channel, and you can interact with us there.
So let me see. I was going to send out a tweet here about the interview. Remind everybody.
While you're doing that, let me ask you a question here. I noticed that on the chat that we have for both the Tony and Josh show and the XJ Talk show on their respective sites, that it doesn't clear itself, and so the next show has the old show's chat still in it.
Yep, you were correct, sir.
All right, I didn't know if that was intent by design, or if that's just something that kind of that's just how it works, or what.
I think it's intent by the aspect of it being cheap and free.
Okay, I like those. I like cheap. I like free.
Yep. Reminds me of my ex-wife. Okay, ba-bum bum. Where the hell is my ba-bum button? Ba-bum, my butt button.
They call it a rim shot.
Yeah, that just makes me nervous. I just have a flashback to the 80s when I was watching porn. It just wasn't a good time.
No.
I was like, what the hell are they doing? Oh, my God. Anybody got some chocolate? All right, let's see here. I am going to tweet the link to the show on xjtalk.com, xjtalkshow.com. I'm thinking about changing the name of the show, Josh, just so it's less of a problem for me to remember.
Oh, okay.
Bubba's Four-Wheel Drives.
That's going to break a lot of muscle memory.
So, actually, this would be pretty funny if we had three people, because we could be, I could be Tony, or I could be Bubba, and you could be Josh, and you could say, "This is Bubba, and this is my other co-host, Bubba."
Yeah.
Bubba, what do you think? And then we both start talking. It would be a running gag. All we'd need is Bob Newhart. Okay. Don't miss the long-awaited, I can't spell awaited, and full of much more detail interview with Kyle. I hope I spelled that name right. And I am going to post a picture of the Coriovetto and the Cherokee. Man, I was dead tired this morning. This evening when I got home, I got up at 4 this morning. That's the problem with getting to bed on time.
What was the old saying? Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Yeah, it's bullshit. It makes me sleepier as hell when I get home. Okay, so I'll remind them on Facebook. Well, I have a tendency to forget show notes and Facebook are the same thing, or at least on the same software.
So what do we figure out with Dropbox and why? I mean, am I doing something wrong? Are we using it wrong? Is it?
Well, this will sound bad, but we figured out you don't what the hell you're talking about.
Okay.
Well, let me explain it real quick. Basically, Dropbox is a synchronization thing. They have an area of disks set aside for the XJ Talk Show, and we put stuff there, and it synchronizes to any computer that is set up, or even smartphone that's set up to synchronize with that common folder. So so if I put a file there, it goes to my PC, it goes to your PC. So you have and when I say it goes to your PC, it's copied to your PC's hard drive. So if I put 27 gigs worth of data in a folder that's shared with you, it's going to copy that 27 gigs of data to your local hard drive. When you're accessing the files on Dropbox, you're not accessing the files on their site. You're accessing the files on your computer. The software just keeps it synchronized. So if something gets deleted from the common folder at Dropbox, it deletes it from all the other PCs that are sharing that folder, even though the file is local. So you're freeing up space locally on your PC, but at the same time, you're removing them from the folder that's shared amongst everybody else. So you're, in effect, deleting it off other people's PCs.
Right, where I can't delete what's in the Dropbox off of just my Dropbox account because there's really no such thing.
Well, there may be a way. I just don't know and haven't researched it. And, of course, I couldn't do it tonight. So the simplest thing for me to do was just to move everything that I knew that was being shared with you off to my local drive, a different area on my local drive, which in effect freed up the space on your local drive. So it wasn't, and I really understood what was going on, what you were trying to do, because you were saying your Dropbox was full, and I thought you meant your personal Josh Dropbox, because I knew that the XJ Talk Show's Dropbox is like 100 meg or a terabyte or some enormous number, and we're nowhere close to having it full. So that's what was confusing me. I was thinking, well, how is his Dropbox linked to my Dropbox? And I don't know. And then I realized that it was you're just talking about your hard drive. Your local hard drive was full. So if I move stuff out of the shared folder, then it's going to remove the files from your local hard drive. But I'm still going to have access to them, just not on Dropbox, just another folder locally on my computer.
I was going to say, because I've got plenty of room on my hard drive that's full. I mean, I've got plenty of room on my hard drive. I mean, I've got 100 gigs or so of free space. So, I mean, I know that my hard drive isn't full. It's my Dropbox that's full.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you, because you're.
And that's why I sent you that one picture. That says, your Dropbox is full. It's not a matter of hard drive space. It's a matter of account space with Dropbox.
Okay. Well, you understand that the local file, the local folder is also called Dropbox.
Right. And so when I delete something out of that, I had, both the local and the shared, open. And when I delete something out of one, it deletes it out of the other.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. All I can tell you is the explanation I gave you is the most logical, because what you're telling me isn't. So, if you got plenty of local hard drive space and your Dropbox was full, putting files in your Dropbox, it has nothing to do with the XJ Talk Show Dropbox. The XJ Talk Show Dropbox has a lot of free space. So logically, I think it has to be what I'm saying. It may not be, but I think it has to be what I'm telling you. So what you can do is you can contact Dropbox technical support and ask them. But I think we have to figure out a way to be able to where I can delete things without changing the shared folder. Well, you can delete things as long as you're deleting things from your Dropbox and not the XJ Talk Shop box.
I went to the Dropbox site, logged into my account. It says, my name up there. It doesn't say XJ Talk Show. It says, my name.
Right. But
I'm online through the Dropbox online, not through my hard drive.
Right. But you understand that you have a share. You were a message went to you to your account, and you have a Dropbox account, and then that thing was, hey, Tony would like to share this folder with you, and then you accept that. So now it's not, even though that space isn't part of your Dropbox, you have a share that is linked to XJ Talk Show's Dropbox.
But that counts as my
not at all
allotted space.
Not at all. That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. If you're deleting things from your Dropbox, and I'm talking about your account, not something that you've been added to from somebody else's. You can try this. You can go in there and go into your account, not a share that you've linked to, that you've been invited to XJ Talk Show, just yours, and you drop some and you delete something. Then it's not going to delete it off my computer. But if you go into the XJ Talk share or shares that you have access to and delete something, then it's going to delete it off my computer, and it's going to delete it from my Dropbox or XJ Talk Show's Dropbox total account, not yours. I mean, the model that you're talking about would be insane, because nobody would want to link link Dropbox accounts, because you only have 5 meg or 10 meg free account, whatever it is, but you're linked to somebody that has a terabyte. Well, it's basically saying, sorry, you only have 5 meg total, so even though you have access to the share that's a terabyte, you can only put 5 meg in it. And of course that may be the case, but I don't think that would be a very good model, that nobody would want to share anything.
Yeah, I just have a sneaking suspicion that's how it works.
Well,
I mean, even though you might have a terabyte, I mean, it's showing me as only 2.8 gigs.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe it's. I mean, check it out. Check with Dropbox and see, because it's always possible. But the ones that you were deleting were out of the XJ Talk Show's share. So I don't know how many you were deleting. I only see the ones that you're deleting out of the XJ Talk Show share.
Yeah, it was just a couple. I was just trying to make room for the.
But you have room now, right?
Yeah.
After I moved all those files.
The 7 files that you moved, yeah.
Oh, a lot more than that.
Oh, I only got the notification for 7.
Yeah. So anyway, I moved a lot of files, and now you got room. So I don't know. Anyway, that was an interesting 10 minutes. Let me. I've sent out those messages. Let me close everything up, turn the light on, and get hot. Well, I think I'm going to start getting my hair cut every 3 weeks, Josh, instead of every 18.
Oh. I usually go, I try and do it every 2 to 3. Usually I don't need any 2 is sometimes kind of pushing it, but 3 weeks. But I've been known to go a couple few months.
Oh, yeah. I was shooting for 5 weeks, and I think that I was managing 7 or 8. Even set a reminder on my smartphone, and it's like, I don't have time for that. Alrighty. Well, I guess I do have some stuff in here already. Yeah, I can wing that one. Okay. So Amazon's fine. We've got the Nikki G voicemail. We have our YouTube subscribers. We're going to be doing the fast intro like we did last week. New for you, and then we'll go straight into the This Week in Jeep. Well, look at that. We're almost starting exactly on time, 10:15. I wonder if we actually got started you and I connected and talking about what's going on with the show. at 9:30 my time, if I bet you we'd still start at 10:15. What do you think?
You're probably right.
Oh, I don't have the... oh, that's right. We don't have an intro. I saw a blank spot over there. Old habits. Alrighty. So I need to turn this on. Always good to record the show. Josh gets less upset with me if I record the show. I'm going to remember to press the button. All the details needed. All the little,
it's the little things, Tony.
All the tiny details that you have to go through. Oh, you looked loud. Give me a little chatter. Let me see where this thing's going on the meter.
A little chatter. I'm going to get excited and get up in the upper register a little bit.
My output was not set the same, synchronized, if you will. Left and right was a bit wonky.
All this hot synchronization talk.
Alrighty. So, okay, let me just look at this. What we're doing, we're doing a quick intro, which is, come on. Oh, there we go. Yep, 15-second music fade. Right. Yep. Okay, good. It's one of it's been very busy tonight. I started working on this stuff around 8, and thank God I didn't have to edit the several other things that we normally have.
Yeah, right.
The show will be relaxing. All right, so yep, I got the 15-second one up there. Good. Nikki G's on there. The interview's on there. We should be good to go.
All righty.
So, again, guys, if you are watching the live show, join us at xjtalkshow.com. You'll see the very top posting is or at least it's a still of the video that we're currently sending. You press the play button that's right there in the middle of the still, and you'll start seeing the live video there. And that means you can close your YouTube or stop the stream on YouTube, watch it on the XJ Talk Show page. And the reason why I mention that is not because we get more hits or anything. It's because we want you to use the little chat room thing that we have just below the video. So it just makes it a lot easier for you to communicate with us and others watching the show. I think that if we can get people over to the xjtalkshow.com and using that chat, it's going to bring in more people to the live show, and it's going to be more fun as you get to interact with other people watching the show. The more that are there, the more fun it will be. At least that's been my experience. So this isn't some sort of kind of gimmick to raise hits or anything like that. I'm just trying to make the show more entertaining, if that's possible. All right, here we go.
The XJ Talk Show is for entertainment purposes only. Any advice or information provided on this show should be verified by alternative sources prior to making any changes or modifications to your vehicle. We are not experts, just people that enjoy the Jeep hobby and don't mind talking endlessly about it. P.S. We love you.
XJ Talk Show is on the air. Okay, it's a podcast. Oh, you know what I mean. Anyway, here's Tony and Josh.
First Week in Jeep.
Now, Jeep Renegade plus Fiat 500X equals sibling rivalry. We've been reporting since they were just rumors that the new Jeep Renegade is based on a car platform, the Fiat 500X. The 500 and the Renegade, both subcompact crossovers, share virtually the same exact platform and will even be built on the same production line in Italy. Analysts say the two vehicles will appeal to different types of customers. The Jeep Renegade and 500X can coexist, say these analysts. And speaking of analysts, Ian Fletcher, who is an IHS, or Institute for Highway Safety, automotive analyst, said the 500X is a, quote, cute urban vehicle with off-road capabilities, while the Renegade is the rugged off-roader expected from Jeep. They're almost like the male and female versions of the same model, although I expect the two models to please both men and women. How is what I ask, by a marital aid for a stick shift and a fleshlight in the tailpipe? And I'm sorry, did he say rugged when trying to describe what most people are calling the cute ute? The Micro Jeep, since its debut, has been getting reviews of odd design and a plasticky feel. After all, this thing is basically a car, with some drivetrain and suspension alterations, of course. Most of us diehard Jeep fans are saying this thing is barely a Jeep to begin with, much like the new Cherokee. Strength of the 500X will be its design, while that of the Renegade will be its functionality, Fletcher said. He also said he likes turtles, put a tinfoil hat on, and started doing the flying spaghetti monster dance in his underwear. So there's no telling what's going on upstairs with this guy. The 500X will appear in European dealerships before the end of the year and next spring in the U.S. In Europe, the 500X will replace Fiat's slow-selling Sidisi, which Suzuki built in its plant in Hungary. The 500X will complete the 500 lineup, sitting alongside the 500L minivan and the 500 three-door hatchback. The Renegade will complete Jeep's How Can We Piss Off the Enthusiast Now lineup, right alongside the IFS Wrangler and the new Cherokee. Consider yourselves warned. More potentially bad decisions by Jeep are on the horizon. The man in charge of Fiat Chrysler Automobiles said the company might consider moving production of the Jeep Wrangler out of its current home in Toledo, Ohio, but he indicated that the plant would not be shut down. Just a different vehicle would likely be built at the Toledo Assembly Complex. Sergio Marchione, speaking at the Paris Auto Show, said the next Wrangler could have an aluminum body and be built off of a unibody platform. Excuse me? Say what? Unibody Wrangler? No! The next update for the Wrangler, which is built only in Toledo for now, is due in 2017. Lucas County Commissioner Pete Gherkin, or Jerkin. Anyway, it's our buddy Pete, a former Jeep worker and union leader and a veteran of previous efforts to retain Jeep manufacturing in Toledo, said he was surprised by the announcement, but was confident that the city would be able to accommodate any technological innovations needed to build the Wrangler. He then told his assistant to, quote, get that asshat Marchione on the horn, I have some ass kicking to do. It's not the first time we've heard of these announcements, is what he really said. They told us in 97 the old plant couldn't be converted to build a new car, so we built a new plant. He went on to say if there's new technology, we're the place to launch it. Mr. Gherkin was hired on the Jeep assembly line in 1976, was elected to union leadership in 83, and retired in 2006. Bruce Baumauer, the president of United Auto Workers Local 12, which represents the Toledo Jeep workers, said he felt extremely betrayed by Mr. Marchione's comments, and rightly so. There's no solution under which you can take the Jeep Wrangler out of Toledo, Mr. Baumauer said, and still retain any degree of respect from certain podcast hosts or the American public, I might add. But Mr. Baumauer said Chrysler could build an aluminum Wrangler in Toledo and that the union would do what needs to be done to ensure the next generation of Wranglers continues to be built in Toledo. That's right. Let's get some of those union mob bosses back on the take, and let's start busting some kneecaps around here. What we need is a lot less thinking and more building of the Jeeps we've all known and grown to love. I'm not talking to you, 2015 Cherokee. Money is the root of all evil, or in this case, might explain some of the reasoning behind some of the seemingly brainless decisions that have been coming out of the Chrysler Fiat camp lately. Starting October 13th, the Fiat Chrysler Automotive Corporation will begin trading publicly on the New York Stock Exchange. So obviously, you guys can see how important it's going to be for them to be putting their best foot forward right now and to look at global sales more than local sales and traditions and heritage and, stupid things like that. In an attempt to appease shareholders early and often, and this is why we're seeing things like the new Cherokee and the Renegade and things like that. Dumb and Dumber 2 is being released a little early, folks, and it ain't going to be in the theaters. It's going to be in the dealerships. Hey, you guys, I'd like to thank our friend and friend of the show and host of Radio Comtech, John, Prerunner 1982, for submitting our first story this week. If you would like to submit a story to be aired on This Week in Jeep, or if you have a response to any one of our stories, please give us a call or send us an email to newstips@xjtalk.com.
xjtalk.com is where you go when you're not off-road. And now you can go to xjtalk.com when you're off-road too. Using your smartphone, install the Tap a Talk app, then search for XJ Talk. Take XJ Talk with you wherever you go. Jury duty, dinner with your spouse's parents, even, well, anywhere you need your XJ Talk fix.
Ooh, red Jeeps are sexy.
This is Dan from the 4x4 podcast, and you're listening to the XJ Talk Show.
Yes, you are. Well, damn, Josh, it's the all Josh show. So we're trying a new little format here to get straight into things and make the show a little tight, a little faster, and hopefully a little more enjoyable. So back to you, Josh.
Well, today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Over 150,000. I can't even speak tonight. It's just I'm not even going to try.
You're out of practice.
Hold it in. Over 150,000 titles to choose from, folks, over at Audible.com. It's for your iPhone, your Android, your Kindle, your MP3 player, basically for your sanity if you like to listen to stuff. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial over at www.audible.com/XJTalkShow.
Now, I missed this last week, Josh, and I think the week before. So without further ado, did you have any words of wisdom to say, talk about Richard here?
No, he's just a friend of the show, and he's kind of one of these guys that he's wearing one of those pit hats and or pit helmets, and he's out there in the great safari doing these sort of things, and he's been kind enough to share his comments, experience, and research with us.
Ah yes, hello Jeep fans. Once again it is Richard Cranium Allswell III. You may remember me from such documentaries as The Amazon, It's Not Just Where Tall Women Come From Anymore, and from such short films as There's a Waffle in My Underpants and Your Mother the Whore. Today, however, we are going to continue our journey down memory lane, revisiting the saga of the Jeep Cherokee XJ. If owning one, Cherokees should be congratulated at the end of every journey. This keeps them wagging their tail, ready for the next adventure. Should you be so fortunate to own one of these marvels of off-road prowess, it will eventually present to you an opportunity to upgrade it. This is commonly known in the completely undecipherable Jeep language as a break, a snap, or something called the epic failure. Not to be alarmed, though. This is truly an honor, and you should be thankful that your Cherokee has chosen you to bestow this great honor upon. So the next time you spot a Cherokee XJ in the wild, give it a wave and relish in the knowledge that you know a little bit more about it than the next fellow. And until next time, this is Richard Cranium Allswell III saying farewell.
He sounds really smart. I think that's the British accent, though.
Yeah, all the British folk always sound a little more intelligent.
Hey, it's time to spread a little love and, hey, maybe some intelligence, not from us to them, but them to us, to our YouTube subscribers.
Yeah, we've got well over 600 subscribers, and we are knocking on the door of 200,000 views, guys. Keep up the good work. Make sure you're telling a friend, and pop over to XJ Talk Show's YouTube channel quite often. See what we're posting up.
620 subscribers and over 186,000 views.
That is great. Guys, we pull 4 out of our list of subscribers every week, and, give them a little bit of love. And first on our list is the Ammo Can 1.
Cool. Number 2, Jerry Skinner.
We got Stephen Dial.
Deal. I know. That's a name that I know. Deal. I worked at a TV repair place, and the owner's name was Deal. And
we know guy.
And we'll wind it up with Eric's XJ.
That is Eric Zappi, for those of you who don't know.
He's the guy that wrote the books.
Got some voice.
Same guy that we have to get on here really soon.
Yeah, we do got to get him on the show. Well, guys, we got some voicemails to share with you, as well as we got our YouTube subscribers and stuff like that. Well, we got people that call into the show and like to give us a little bit of love every now and again as well. And one of our more regular submitters is our friend Nikki G.
Hey, this is Tony.
And this is Josh from the XJ Talk Show. We want to thank you for calling our 24/7 voice line.
Yes, we do. Just leave your first name and your question or comment.
There's no guarantee, but we may play your message on the podcast.
Oh, and don't worry about keeping it clean. We'll take care of that.
Now it's your turn to speak at the beep.
Hey, this is Nikki G, and it's officially fall. The leaves are starting to turn a pretty color. There's a cool crispness in the air, or if the air is crisp, I don't know what the heck I was saying there. Anyhow, fall is here. It's that time of year all of Jeep owners love. We can spend the next 3 months driving around without our eyeballs glued to the temperature gauge. And,
so true.
Hey, thanks to Steve for his work of fiction in Jeep's archives. Jeeps around in the 50s and 60s? That is laughable. I highly doubt that. Everybody knows that the Internet wasn't around back then. How did they ever order parts for those things? Chat you later. Have a good one. Bye.
It's funny because it's true.
Yeah. Well, very good eye on that, Nikki G. Appreciate the call. Guys, you guys can give us a call and join in on the fun anytime you like. We've got a 24/7 voicemail line. That means nobody's going to answer the phone, and you can join in on the fun. Leave a message, and hey, even if you butt dial us or maybe a little too drunk and do some drunk dialing, we'll take that stuff too. 530-675-4102. Join in. We hope to hear from you soon.
Yes, if you're listening to the recorded show, press pause and go call us and let us know that we told you to call the voicemail line. And you honored that request like the brave little robot you are. No, I'm just kidding. We really would like to hear from you. We love hearing the various takes that you have on the show. And, hey, you got a criticism for the show, hate the show, I don't know why you're listening, but maybe that's the type thing you like to do, and you want to call and give us what for, hey, that's all right. Call us. We'll play it. I think it's actually kind of funny.
Yeah, we do love feedback, guys, so help us out and head over to iTunes and give us a 5-star review. Leave us a comment letting us know what you think of the show. We love the feedback, guys, so hook us up.
Yes. So we have the interview with Kyle D'Amata. You know him as the gentleman in the white XJ that parked next to the white Corvette that seemed to want to take 2 parking spots, not more than 20 feet from the front door of a local New Jersey eating establishment. And Kyle took issue with that, mainly because there was no parking places, and he had been sitting in traffic for a while, and damn it, he was ready to eat. So he parked and took the time to take a quick picture, and it exploded on the Internet. And we were lucky enough, and as I told Kyle, it's not so much that, it's a big deal. It's a big media event that's occurred over this. You're right, driving a Jeep, and we're a Jeep family, and we wanted to have you on. It just so happens that it was a big deal. Anyway, we were very lucky to get him, and we'll be getting to that interview here in just a minute. But first, we want to bring you our very popular segment, Amazon You Bought What?
Amazon.com and the XJ Talk Show present You Bought What?
Well, guys, we've got an awesome little relationship all set up with Amazon.com. If you don't know what Amazon.com is, well, you've been living under a rock for the last 15 years. In any case, guys, Amazon.com is probably one of the largest online shopping venues you could possibly imagine. They've got virtually anything, and they've agreed to, give you guys the ability to support your favorite podcast. Head over to xjtalkshow.com or xjtalk.com. Click on the Amazon banner right there on the home page. Takes you right over to Amazon.com, where you can do any of your online shopping that you normally would. But Amazon's agreed to give us a small little kickback out of anything that you purchase, whether or not it's a finger condom or a 55-inch TV. We'll take it. In fact, you guys, you can buy virtually anything on Amazon.com. You're not going to spend a single dime more, not 1 red cent. But Amazon's going to give us a little kickback. It's a great way for you guys to support your favorite show. In addition to that, they've agreed to give us a list of what you guys are buying. And we don't get to see who's buying what. All we get to see are the items. Tony and I pick out a few, and we make some fun, make some light, and crack wise about some of these items. And we're going to dive into that right now.
So this episode is brought to you by NOCO. You know them as the battery jump. They have a lot of battery products. And we're going to be talking here in the future about the new Genius Boost. It's a little device that allows you to jumpstart your precious Jeep or really any automobile that needs a jump. And it's not very big either. It's kind of a small, nice little unit. For more information, go to NOCOUSA.com. And we'll be giving you a lot more information on that in future episodes.
So you guys have got. Go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry.
That's all right. So the first thing we're going to start off here is, first off, I'm going to bring my show notes back. This is an item that a gentleman bought. I'm assuming something here, Josh. I said gentleman. This could be a chick, a babe, a sandwich maker. It's an anodized 7/8 handlebar motorcycle bar end. So this thing is kind of cool. I didn't even know they had these things. I always wanted a motorcycle. My parents told me no, and now my wife tells me no. So I don't guess I'm going to get a motorcycle ever. And anyway, these mirrors, and you motorcycle people probably know about this, but these mirrors fit in the handles, the little openings of the ends of the handles. So I thought that was pretty cool. It doesn't block anything. I guess you're less likely to impale yourself on the mirror when you go end over the front of the handlebars. But this thing fits standard 7/8 inch tubes, and has an internal clamping system that allows the bar ends to clamp directly to most bar ends. The mirror is universal, not particularly made for any certain bike, but make sure that your bike uses the hollow round 7-inch handlebar that says it fits, what is that, Aprila?
Aprila.
Is that Buell?
Very good.
Ducati, Honda, Indian. Oh, I know the Indian motorcycles. Kawasaki. Oh, yeah. I never heard of KTM. Suzuki, certainly. Triumph. I almost got run over by one when I was a kid. And Yamaha. Wow. So you guys have heard John, pre-order 1982, talk about this radio before. And somebody actually bought one on Amazon. Actually, I shouldn't say somebody actually did, because we've seen several of these purchases. It's a Bofing UV5RE handy talkie. Basically, it's a dual band transceiver that allows you to talk on amateur radio frequencies through repeaters. Frequency range is 136 to 174 megahertz and 400 to 480 megahertz because it's damn close to it. A high two-color LED definition display. The screen with exquisite clarity. And actually, I bought one for my youngest son, and I was pretty impressed with it. I don't think it was a dual band. Of course, it could have been. I may have cheaped out. I don't remember. Upgrade the frame material metallic, more durable and fashionable. Oh yes, of course, fashionable. Nerd jewelry. And it's got English, German, French instructions for more convenience and modernized. Who writes this stuff?
I don't know.
The new 2013 packaging, more beautiful and quiet. So.
Yeah, you guys can find these things in yellow, red, black, even camo colors. Of course, I don't know about the whole camo thing. I want that thing while I'm tromping through the woods and lose it, as it were. But yeah, no, these things are since been hailed as probably one of the best entry-level handy talk ham radios that you guys can buy. And, of course, you can get them through Amazon. And just very quickly, that no-code device that we were talking about earlier, guys, you can get that on Amazon.com.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So in our automotive category, I found one. It's called the Gorilla Lug Nuts. And these things are half-inch black lug nuts, or black lugs in a 4-pack. This product cannot be returned because once you handle these nuts, they are yours. At least they come in a bag of 4 and not 2 because, well, that would be a little weird now, wouldn't it? And their slogan is, because it's a jungle out there. I would say if that's your slogan, boy, you might need some manscaping. In the other category, we have a 7-inch 26 LED H4 halogen motorcycle halo headlight turn signal. Some more motorcycle stuff here. Guys, this is a $54 purchase, so it just goes to show, there's no limit to how little you have to spend or how much you can spend. Anything can make it on the list. This thing is 7 inches round, has an ABS case, polycarbonate lens, fits most of the Harley, Kawasaki, Suzuki, Honda, Yamaha motorcycles, cruisers, choppers, custom bikes. Please check size before you buy. This is not DOT approved. Do not use if DOT is required. For off-road use only, which raises the question, when the hell did Harley start making off-road bikes? Now, if one got creative, honestly, guys, in all seriousness, if one got creative, these things would be hella cool in the front of a Cherokee or even a Wrangler. This is a 7-inch round headlight and can be retrofitted into the front of a Jeep. You guys go check that out. Head over to Amazon.com. Check out this 7-inch 26 LED H4 halogen motorcycle halo headlight with turn signals. I think it's pretty cool, and I'd love to see somebody retro one of these in a Jeep. Now, you guys all know that I love tools. And this one here is the C.H. Hansen 03040 Magnetic Stud Finder. Only $9. It's small, it's compact, and easily fits in your pocket. Powerful magnets allow hands-free use, which kind of boggles my mind. Last time I checked, I don't think that sheetrock was magnetic. There's a two-way level for ease of marking. There are no batteries required, which also is kind of interesting. Soft grip for easy grabbing and gentle touch. That's what she said? My subconscious would say, you don't need magnets to find studs. Hand-free stud finding sounds like a questionable night in a dance club. Well, that's about it.
I wonder if feet would be involved, but I digress.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, like we said, NOCO is a device that you guys can find over on Amazon.com, NOCOUSA.com. Main manufacturers of the best jump box available. You need to jumpstart your vehicle. Disregard that huge, chunky, gigantic yellow box that we always would throw in the back. This thing can actually fit in a glove box of an early model XJ. I'm not kidding. These things are small, less area than what this Gatorade bottle takes up. Honestly, they are idiot-proof, made with state-of-the-art lithium-ion batteries, and have over 20 jump capacity out of a single charge. That means you could jump 20 different vehicles up to 6 liters. That's right, a 6-liter engine can be jumped with one of these things. I think somewhere in the neighborhood of like over 6,000 cold cranking amps out of one of these things for 20 jumps. Go check them out, noco.usa.com.
We just found out what you bought.
Oh my God, I just can't believe that made it on the list.
I'm really excited about finding out more information on this NOCO Genius Boost. Josh actually received one as a demo unit that he's going to be unboxing, and frankly, I'm surprised he held up a Gatorade bottle. It's like, here it comes. He's going to show it. It's Gatorade.
No, it's actually still in its plastic wrap, and I'm going to do a full review on this thing. I'm going to do an unveiling and unwrapping. I've got a buddy who's got a Jeep that cannot be started under its own power, and we're going to take this thing over there and find out if it's got enough juice to jump his old jalopy. So we're going to find out a little bit more about that in the coming weeks. So, guys, stay tuned, and please go check out NOCO.
So I'll tell a quick dead battery story. I hooked up a couple of KC lights to my wife's 2003 TJ, and she thought it was really cool, and I guess I didn't tell her they're off-road lights and illegal use on road. So she was actually driving them with them on during the day. No problem. She didn't get stopped or anything. But I don't have them wired up to be power on and off with the I like having the ability to turn things on and off and leave them on if I want to, and keep in mind how long I know how much time I have before I have to turn them off so I can start the Jeep. So anyway, she drove to Baytown to visit my mom, and she had them on, and she left them on. So she calls me and tells me the Jeep won't start, and she thinks it's because she left the KC lights on. And I said, okay. And I said, well, you just need to get a jump start and you should be fine. No battery cables, nothing like that. So we had recently purchased a AAA membership. So I told her to call AAA. She did. Used her little card. They came out, took care of it, gave her a jump start. Everything's fine. And then lesson learned, she knew to turn that switch off or make sure it was off before she left the Jeep. And but she still had to wait 45 minutes to an hour for AAA to arrive with this NOCO Genius Boost box. I mean, it's really small. You know how much room there is in a standard length TJ, but this thing is so small, and it has the ability to check the polarity. I think this is correct. You can hook it up either way, and I think it either makes the correction or it'll warn you. In other words, you ain't going to blow nothing up, and there's not going to be a fire involved. Which
try doing that with jumper cables.
Oh yeah, which this is a perfect situation for our female friends that are not automobile savvy, and to let them know that you can't hook it up wrong without it telling you you're not going to hurt anything is certainly going to make it a lot easier for them to actually use the device to start with. So as I mentioned recently, this would be a great item to go in your oh shit bag. So I need to start one for my wife's Jeep.
Well, we've got an interview to start here with the aforementioned Kyle DeMattia, or I'm thinking I'm pronouncing that right. He was our parking master, as Tony alluded to, and it's been all over the interwebs, guys. He has pretty much made himself kind of famous with his parking job next to, well, somebody who should not be famous for their parking job.
No, and I don't know how you guys feel about this. I certainly don't. I do not have a problem with people taking up 2, 3, whatever parking spots. Even some of our 18-wheeler buddies, drivers out there, certainly you guys have to take up more than a parking spot or two. But I bet you don't do it at the front of a restaurant. It doesn't matter if you're driving something that's 27 car lengths long or 1 car length. You shouldn't take up more spots that is basically saying, I'm better than you, my vehicle's better than you, better than yours, and I'm just going to take these 2 spots because, damn it, that's what God wanted me to do. It's just rude. It's just wrong. And I think that this whole situation that Kyle or at Lifted Jeep 95XJ on Twitter, I think that's what he thought, and thank God that he took a stand. So let's get to that interview. Hey guys, we got Kyle DeMattia on the interview tonight, and you probably know him as the owner of the Jeep Cherokee that parked diagonally next to the Corvette owner that also parked diagonally, taking up 2 parking spaces. Kyle, thanks a lot for being with us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Now, what part of the country are you in? Where did this event take place?
This took place in North New Jersey, right on the highway that leads over straight into New York through the Lincoln Tunnel.
And if I remember reading correctly, this was at a Red Robin restaurant?
Correct, yeah.
So I think everybody wants to know, and I don't think anybody's asked this of you before because you've been doing many interviews with a lot of big-time stations, not just podcasts. How was the food at Red Robin?
How was the food at Red Robin? It was a good meal. It was good.
That's great. Now, what was the odds?
I think I had fish and chips.
Oh, yeah, that is really good. Yeah, the Arctic cod. Love that. Give us an idea of what happened. You're going to go get some nice, friendly food, and just tell the audience what happened.
Well, I mean, I was with my girlfriend, and we basically came back from wheeling up at Stag Hill. If anybody's from New Jersey or New York, you probably know Stag Hill. And we came back, Giants game traffic. Took us about 2 hours to get back home, naturally, being in Jersey. So, we pulled in there, I was like, oh, where do you want to go eat? And she was like, oh, Red Robin, it's right by the house. So we go to Red Robin, and of course, having sit in traffic, the restaurant's going to be completely packed in the parking lot. So we're driving around there looking for a parking space, and we come around the corner there, and we just see him parked there. And I was like, are you serious? Like, this guy cannot be serious. So, I mean, I did what any Jeep owner probably would have done. I mean, I was just like, okay, screw it. I'm just going to park on the curb.
So this guy was basically taking up 2 parking spots, and it wasn't like he was parked straight in. He kind of came in there at a diagonal. And wasn't this like at the very front? I mean, just at the front door of the restaurant?
Yes. Third parking space from the handicap parking space that's at the front door.
See, I don't begrudge somebody loving their vehicle because I think all Jeep owners feel that way about their vehicles. But I don't know that very many of them would park at the front door that way.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it immediately, and I knew it's a nice car. I mean, C6 Corvette Grand Sport. I mean, that is a nice car.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there was a bunch of empty parking spaces like towards the back. So I mean, the first thing I thought was like, this guy's just doing it to, because he wants to feed his ego, or he thinks he can do it because he's got a nice car or whatever. So I was like, okay, well, you wanna play smart? Okay, I could play smarter. So, exactly what he didn't want, I did, just to, just be an asshole to an asshole.
So is this something that you've done before and maybe not taking a picture of it, or have posted it and not gotten this response?
Probably once or twice. I mean, probably at the movies. I really don't go anywhere that much. I'm a loser. I stay at home and I work.
That's not a loser at all.
But when I do go out, yeah, I've probably done it once or twice. Not where I've never done it where it's been so like obvious, or I've never done it where they can't get into the door. But I've done it where, like, you know, I'll put my tire there, or if they just park like retards, I'll just do something like that. Just, you know, just for fun. You know, I never really do it to, you know, be vicious or, you know, something like that.
Yeah, I noticed that you gave him quite a bit of room, like it would be, had he parked normally, the same amount of space between the two vehicles would have been there. And I thought that was very kind of you, and I know that both Josh and I had both indicated that he would have been crawling in the other side if it was us.
Yeah, no, that's what I said too. A lot of the reporters that I've talked to have asked me, you know, oh, you know, what were you trying to do? And I was like, you know, I was just trying to be funny there. You know, I was hoping the guy would come out and just be like, oh, you know, this is pretty freaking funny. You know, probably think twice about doing it again. But I mean, if I really wanted to ruin his day or something, he wouldn't have gotten into that driver's door. He would have been. His girlfriend would have been standing there watching him crawl into the passenger seat if I wanted to send that kind of message.
Now, knowing how Jeepers are, at any time did it cross your mind about thinking about calling a buddy and getting them to park next to him on the other side?
No, definitely not. I didn't expect. I actually took the picture of it, the first picture that's been circulating around.
Mm-hmm.
I sent it to a bunch of guys that I was just wheeling with, and I was just like, oh, you know, LOL, look at this guy. And I was, and then I actually, after I sent that, you know, I sat down, I got the video, and I just sent that to them, and they were like hysterical over it. It was awesome.
Yeah, now let's get to that. That's where I was going before I realized that I was getting ahead of the story. You actually got sat where you could see the two vehicles very well, and you took a video of the couple, the Corvette couple, going back out there, and go and describe to our listeners what happened then.
Well, we actually, I got into the restaurant, and they were going to seat us somewhere far away, and I was like, oh, you know, let me sit close to the window where I can see the Jeep. Like that, when he moves out, you know, I'll just be able to move it back, and nobody will think, like, you know, I'm the idiot that parked.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
you know,
good idea. That's a very good idea.
I didn't plan on recording it, so I mean, I sat down, and then I saw him go to the car right afterwards, and I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe I should get this on video in case he like keys my truck or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, and then I just was like, hey, wait a minute, you know, this is funny. We got people laughing at him. We got him looking for dings, like.
Oh, that was,
man,
I thought that was insane. I mean, come on. I mean, you parked a good distance away from him, and how anal can you be about your vehicle to start looking for dings? I think he needs to cover that thing in bedliner if he's that concerned about it.
Yeah. We all know about that bedliner, all his Jeepers.
Yeah. So did he look around? I mean, I only saw the video once, and I can't remember if he was looking around to see if anybody was watching there or standing there. And then, you know.
No. And he was too concerned about the ding, like you said. And, of course, you got the people in the video who come by laughing, or I don't know if they said something to him because he kind of looks back. But he was just like, all right, screw it, I'm just getting in before more people walk by and just start laughing. So.
Now, being a married man, and I know you have a girlfriend, so you probably thought or maybe noticed the same thing. I have a tendency to think that the woman that was with him was giving him a hard time, like, I told you not to park like this.
Oh, I hope.
I know.
Oh, my God, that would be great.
Did you get any kind of vibes from her whenever you were recording that video that maybe she was, like, rolling her eyes at him at least?
No, you know, I didn't even think of that. Like, I was honestly, dude, at the time I was recording, I was like, okay, you know, if this guy keys my car, you know, it's I have proof. Like, I wasn't looking at that. I was just watching him the whole time, you know, get ready to, like, jump up and go out there if he tried to do anything stupid.
Well, and I guess that's part of the problem with this is that anytime you make a public display of somebody not getting along well with people, there's always the possibility that you may get into an altercation. So is this something that you've taken into consideration, or you don't care? You're just tired of people doing whatever the hell they want to do, and somebody needs to take a stand and say this isn't the way people should get along.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's of course you're gonna push somebody's buttons. They're probably gonna punch one of your buttons. You know, that's what it is. I mean, I hate that. I mean, I wouldn't have gone out there and been confrontational. I just would have had my camera rolling the whole time. Hey, you want to hit me? Go ahead. I'll stick my chin out. You know, I could use a few extra bucks. You know, it's an XJ. I need an 8-inch lift. You know?
Oh yeah.
You know, so I mean, but I hate that. You know, it's stupid, but I wish that more people did what I did sometimes, because it's like, man, it's I hate that.
Well, you see a lot of people just they know that other people don't like confrontation, and they will use that to their advantage to cut in line or just do whatever the hell whatever the hell they want to do. And I get in trouble quite often with my wife because I'm supposedly having to teach everybody a lesson. And I look at it like,
I think I see that with Jeepers a lot, actually. It's just I don't know what it is. It's like, but I wish more people did what I did sometimes, because it's like, you know, you can't let them do that. If you let them do that, it's like, of course you're going to stir up confrontation, but I mean 99% of the time you're going to stir up the confrontation, but nothing's going to happen. I mean, hopefully this guy will think twice about it. Like, so if that makes any sense. But
well, actually, I guess the person that's doing the confrontation is the person that parked diagonal in front of the restaurant, and it's somebody else playing into that or joining in that confrontation. Like, and I believe that's why it struck a nerve, is so many people have wanted to do exactly what you did, and of course, a lot of people don't drive a Jeep or a lifted Jeep, so they can't do what you did. They can't even get up on the curb like that.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably what touched a nerve with everybody on this story was, it's about damn time. I'm glad somebody did something.
Yeah.
And not necessarily for this one individual, but people that he represents, you know, BMW drivers that drive.
You're absolutely right.
That drive through traffic like, you know, nobody else is there. And it's all I can take not to chase them down. So, because, you know.
Like, yeah, I know. It's everybody, you know, you see that in traffic and you're like, oh, you know, I wish a cop was here. Or,
yeah.
You know, but you know what? It's like, hey, you know, a lot of people wish they can do something like that. I mean, I know. I feel like that's why it touched with a lot of people too, and that's awesome. I saw on actually where I posted it. I posted it originally to a subreddit on Reddit called r/Jeep, and then afterwards, after I posted it, you know, a bunch of people started posting it up, and it was like, yeah, you know, it's if you got a beater Jeep, man, that's freaking awesome. Hopefully it teaches them a lesson. You're sticking up to the man, you know. That's why it resonated with a lot of people. You know, it was like sticking up to the man, as my uncle said.
Now you actually had a run-in with this guy, or at least you believe you had a run-in with this gentleman later, didn't you?
Well, I mean, I never told any reporter this, so you're getting the first one to hear it. But you know, it was I was driving going to the highway. Anyone who's familiar with the area, it's by Rutside, it's River Road. And then I was driving, and he comes in the opposite direction. And you can see, you know, the distinctive Corvette. You know, it's got the racing stripes, the aftermarket headlights, or I don't even know if that's aftermarket. It looks like it, though. But anyway, I saw him coming in the opposite direction. I was like, oh, you know, it's probably him. So I pass him, pulls over to the side. He pulls over to the side, pops a U-turn in front of the 3 cars coming by him. And then he proceeds to follow me down the road. And, you know, I get onto the highway. Like I said, anybody knows the area, Route 3 West, coming back, like, past Chipotle and all that stuff. You know, it's a traffic jam most of the time. So, you know, I'm sitting there. I'm actually recording, even though I'll probably get a lot of hate for using my phone while driving. But, you know, I recorded to protect myself. But
sure.
He ends up coming up behind me, and I got the video of him in my rearview mirror, like, tailgating me. So, of course, you know, he just starts tailgating me for probably about a good 1, 2, 3 exits, and then he goes ahead and passes me on the left. So, I mean, he didn't do anything where, you know, it was like, you know, jumping in front of me or shouting at me or anything like that. He just kind of just drove past and sort of just weaved through the traffic there. So, I mean, it wasn't anything like a confrontation, like, you know, getting out there yelling, but it was something odd, you know.
So when you say tailgating, how close do you think he was?
Probably within like 1 car length he had between us.
Okay, so not inches.
Yeah. No, not. Yeah, because I have a big toe itch on the back of my Jeep, so I'm pretty sure he doesn't want that dragging across his hood. So.
Well, I was just thinking he's worried about door dings, and he sounds like to me he's going to possibly face the whole front end being crushed in his fiberglass-bodied Corvette. Now, you have a 95 Jeep Cherokee, correct?
Yeah.
So it would have been fiberglass on fiberglass if he was up into the tailgate.
Yeah. I think that the highest point of his vehicle is like midway through the windshield would like meet exactly with my toe hitch. So
that would be bad.
I mean, I don't even think he would reach the fiberglass.
Yeah, that would be bad. Well, that's a shame. Obviously, you've made a new friend with all this notoriety. I'm really surprised. I'm surprised we haven't seen the guy on the news. Somebody must have tracked him down.
I mean, I wouldn't want to reveal myself because I mean, with the amount of people coming up to me, I'll be like sitting there eating in a restaurant. People will come in and chat my name. They'll be like, "Hey, where's Kyle?" I'll be, "Hey, right here." They're like, "Oh yeah, man, that guy's a douche." I feel sorry for the people that live near him or know him. So I mean, I'm surprised he hasn't come forward with like a lawsuit or something. But I mean,
I would like to see that lawsuit. He parked too closely to my illegally parked vehicle.
Yeah, I mean, I've had people say like, "Oh, public humiliation," but I mean, I'll tell you, dude, I've had lawyers contact me from them, and they were like, "Yo, we'll represent you for free." Like it's freaking outstanding, the response I've gotten. So I mean, I'm not worried about it.
That's wonderful. That's amazing. I had no idea, and I didn't even know about public humiliation. I mean, my gosh, we've all been in grade school and high school.
Yeah.
So
I don't think it's public humiliation because I didn't identify the guy. I didn't put the photo out there. It's a media thing that kind of just blew it up. So I mean, how can I be held responsible for that? I didn't identify him. I didn't. The license plate you really can't even see in the picture. So.
Well, and you don't know the guy at all. I mean, this isn't somebody. I mean, I guess the first time you noticed him was at the restaurant, and of course when he was tailgating you.
Yeah, so I didn't know. I didn't know him at all. So I didn't even see his car before. So.
Well, and the question that has to be asked, considering all the notoriety and the guy, I don't want to say chasing after you, but following you after this big media explosion, if you had to do it again, would you do it again?
I probably would, because the amount of people that have come up. I went to a car show, the Whiskey Cafe over here in New Jersey, and I tell you, man, it's not a big parking lot. I drove into the parking lot, and I was going to the parking space probably like midway through it, and I tell you, it took me 15 minutes to get to that parking space. And everybody came up, they were like, "Man, you made my day." I showed my whole family that. Everybody, thought that was really cool. It's a whole bunch of things. It made people laugh. That's the most important thing from it. So that's exactly why I built the Jeep. The zombie response and everything. People are supposed to get a kick out of it. So the fact that happened is just priceless. And hell yeah, I would do it again.
That's great.
No, I mean, I put it on Instagram. I posted the video up that I mentioned, and I was like, "Yo, if anybody knows this guy, find out if he's cool or whatever." Because I mean, if I see him again, I'm getting the whole freaking police force that's around here to come over there, because all the police, all the officers around here. I spoke to a lot of the officers, and they all seen the video. They all know exactly who I am. Obviously, I have a very iconic vehicle there. So I mean, if he's ever by here again, I'm not facing him alone. So.
Well, what will be interesting to see is if he parks differently. That will be interesting if you're out riding around and you see
if I see it again,
you're going to have to get a picture. If you get a
he's not getting through that door again. That'll be for sure. But
no, but I mean, if he parks normal, you need to get a picture of it.
Oh yeah.
As a follow up,
just to get that positive reaction that I think you
exactly.
Need. So, because I'm sure that would be freaking gold, going back up on the news and everything. So
yeah, it'd be very funny. Lesson learned.
Yeah, I really want to see. I really want to know what he's thinking though. I mean, I kind of feel bad, obviously, because it's they blew up so much. Probably a little bit overboard with the shaming there, but
yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, but hey, maybe he is cool with it. I don't know. So, because there are people who side with him, you know that, right? Like, there are people you see in these comments that are like, oh, he's completely in the right doing that. It's a $70,000 vehicle.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
But
he can park someplace else. He can drive something else. He can take a bus there.
I know. So, but there are people who side with him. So that's why I'm thinking, maybe he is cool because I'm sure he's getting support as well. As much as I'm getting people coming up to me, I'm sure he's probably getting people who are like, oh, that guy's a dickhead or something like that.
Well, let me ask you this. How many television stations were interviewing those folks that were agreeing with him? I mean, I'm sure they got some rebuttal in there, but I think the vast majority are on your side.
No, but the scary part was that when it actually happened and it started blowing up in the media, I actually had a news reporters showing up at my house in like big news vans, and I was like, how the f*** did they get my address?
Wow.
They called up my dad's house. Like, I was like, okay, that's weird. They texted my cell phone. I have absolutely nowhere that I put my cell phone number on besides at my office and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, how the f*** did they get my number? Because they texted me originally, and I was in school, and I was like, okay, how'd you get this number? And he was like, oh, I got it on the Nexus or something like that. And I was like, okay, whatever. But it's scary. So I don't know how somebody can get that information, but yeah.
Well,
I'm sure somebody has it.
Yeah. See, this is why I'm surprised we haven't seen the Corvette guy, because I know they can find him.
Yeah, right? Like, if they can track down my house, this is basically based on my license plate. How hard is it for them to track down this guy? Like, that's weird.
Yeah. Well, maybe they have. Maybe they've asked him to interview, and he's refused, which would be the smart thing to do.
I just got home. I was working till 7, so I mean, I just got home. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I'm probably gonna end up looking you guys up going on there anyway. So
hey, it's time to head over to Red Robin and have some more fish.
Dude, I can do for that right now.
I always get 2 tartar sauces because I use it for my French fries and my fish.
I like taking some of that home too. So.
Oh, that is good stuff. It's too hot when you get it, but man, it's great. We just had one.
Right? It's always too hot.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. Dude. I went there a week ago, or like 3 days afterwards, and I was like, man, they always serve this shit really hot. Yes. And I was like, okay.
Always have to remind.
I think maybe they want you to eat the fries.
Oh, maybe.
They're always like a little cooler, so you eat all the fries, and then it's like, shit, I need more fries.
Well, we held you a little longer than what I said we were going to, but it's just been a real interesting conversation.
No problem.
Yeah, and also, too, speaking of making people laugh and posting things up on social media, is there a way people can contact you, maybe give you a Twitter pat on the back or a Facebook pat on the back?
Yeah, I mean, I got Twitter, Instagram. It's the same name. It's I don't know, that @ symbol listed 95XJ. And I mean, you know what? Just if you want to send me a private message or anything like that, I mean, I'll respond. I mean, it's I don't care. It's really cool. I like that. So.
Well, that's great.
The best way to contact me.
That's great. Kyle, I want to thank you a lot for doing this interview and for being on the show. And please consider coming over to xjtalk.com. We got a lot of friendly people over there, a lot of Jeep Cherokees. And
oh, yeah.
Whether or not you come over there as the guy that parked next to the Corvette or just an XJ owner that want to share that you have and maybe gain some, we'd be happy to have you there.
I'm actually looking for somebody. I got a 1989 XJ at my house. And it's actually getting parted out. So, I mean, I'll stop by there. I'm actually going to be looking. I need some help, pulling that motor. I never did a 4.0 pull before. So, I mean, if anybody wants to come help me out, just like that's by, Twitter or Instagram. Just send me a message. I'll be on that website for sure. I'm an XJ nut, so.
Aren't we all? All right. All right. Well, thanks very much, Kyle.
All right, thanks for having me, man. Take care.
Thank you. Well, that was a real fun interview with Kyle. We actually spoke a little bit longer than that and found out some other things. I didn't want to go into it in the interview, but I'll mention it just briefly here. I don't think I'll be telling too much of, as Josh puts it, inside baseball. Somebody actually complained about the company at which Kyle works. Somebody external to the company called the corporate office and complained about him. I think they saw the Jeep in the parking lot of this company, which I don't know the name, but apparently it's a well-known company. And it went all the way from corporate all the way down to Kyle's boss, and Kyle's boss had to come and talk to him.
Oh, wow.
So, this is the interesting thing. You see this stuff on television shows, not reality, about where somebody does some heroic thing or makes comes forward with some information, and then the media starts digging into the background, and then these other things come out, and what the person did was great and wonderful. And I'm not making a judgment call here. I'm not saying what Kyle did was great and wonderful or heroic. I'm just saying that you never know what the unintended consequences are of your actions whenever the media spotlight comes and bears down upon you. And I don't want to get too political here, but keep in mind that our illustrious president of the last 6 years has basically skated through, as long as you discount Fox News, has basically skated through with not much media involvement. Yet here's this guy that just parked next to a Corvette that's getting crap from corporate HR. So I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, and one other thing, Kyle drives a Jeep. Obama doesn't.
No, there's no way, unless it was a 2014 Cherokee. Then I could believe that. So, hey Josh, I think we got a couple of minutes here that we can talk a little chit chat if you got something.
Yeah, I was going to say I didn't know how much time we had left in the show, but yeah. So I'm planning on going wheeling this weekend, and it's been a little while since I've had the Jeep out. So I did some adjustments. You guys might have seen my bouncy video I posted up on YouTube, where after the installation of the HD off-road engineering shackle relocation brackets, the rear end was really bouncy, and I driving down the road, there wasn't a foot of pavement that was traveled that, I wasn't bouncing in the Jeep. And it got to be so annoying. So I don't drive the Jeep every day. And so it's just something that I kind of put off for, it's been a couple months now, I think. But I adjusted the shackles and decreased that angle a little bit, moved them back one notch, and I really, really like the results. So, I'm gonna play with this for now, see how it does on the rocks and everything else. See if I screwed myself by adjusting the wrong direction or what. But in any case, it'll be a little bit of a shakedown run, and I may even throw on these Bilstein 5100 shock or 5125s. I can't remember now. In any case, I've got some Bilstein shocks. I got them used. They're very, very, very little used. They're almost like brand new. So I'm going to get these put on, and I may do that before I head out this Sunday as well. So may get some pictures and maybe even a little bit of an impromptu interview with another XJ owner. I'll see if I can't remember to take my recorder and see if he's willing to sit down on the mic after one of our trails and have a few words with me.
Well, that's great. I was going to suggest something about shocks, but I guess changing the angle on the I would assume you made the shackles a little bit more vertical, and that's what caused the bouncy not to be there.
Yeah, the shackles are a little bit more vertical now, and I may even go a little bit more so. And now that those HD engineering brackets, they can actually flip 180 degrees. And change the whole, adjustability into a different direction. So I may play around, just completely experimenting, just for grins and giggles and my own research wise, flip these things around, because honestly, it's not that hard. It's just a little bit of work. I've got a really nice trick that I use with a bottle jack to keep those springs from getting in the way too much. But I may flip those around and actually reverse the angle of the shackles and see what that does. I've done some research on what it should do, but we'll see what it actually does. So I may end up posting up another video after that all happens. Unless I'm completely satisfied with how it performs this weekend, I may just leave it alone. So we'll see.
Well, don't break nothing this time, would you?
Yeah, no, that's going to be my goal. I'm actually going up with another Jeeper buddy of mine, and he's bound and determined to hit one of the hardest trails that we have up here in the area, and it's a trail that is absolutely impassable when it rains, and so it's really only able to be traversed when it's dry. And we've had a little bit of rain recently, but we've also had a little bit of sun here the last couple of days, so I think it should be dry. As long as we don't see any rain between now and Sunday, it should be very interesting. So he's going to need a spot, probably going to have to pull cable just to make it through this trail regardless. We're going to see how it goes.
Well, a little mud is, I don't know. I like mud. It's fun. I don't like the cleaning afterwards, but it's that moving around and side to side, unusual feelings is pretty cool. Hey, I'll mention really quick. You're talking about shackle relocation brackets. The Paps boys are actually had joined us in the chat room, the live show tonight, and they recently put up a shackle relocation bracket that you build. They actually go through the process of showing you how to build some shackle relocation brackets, and I tell you, they have some nice fab skills, and they even show you how to jack up the rear end of the Cherokee to take the stress off of the leaf spring, so that you can remove the leaf spring, which that trick that you're talking about. I think you just need a high lift. Do you have a high lift jack? I don't know that you do. You have a high lift?
I do, but my trick involves a bottle jack on top of the spring
I figured
and
that's
a
what it was.
board on top of the wheel well, and he actually used the bottle jack to push the spring down, keep the tension off of it, so you can work in there without fighting that spring. So a high lift jack wouldn't work. It's just too big. You have to actually get it in there on top of that.
No, I'm talking about lifting the back of the Cherokee up high enough so it takes the tension off the leaf spring. No, I think what you're describing makes for a good projectile.
I do jack up the vehicle a little bit to just get some separation there, and the bottle jack is just used to.
I can see how you could do fine adjustments that way. I thought he was damn. It was damn lucky that he got it just the right height where he could pull the bolt out. But I'm sure there was some video editing there. But if you guys haven't checked out the Paps Boys on YouTube, check that out. Hilarious. They do something, they drink a beer. They do something, they drink a beer. They do something, they drink a beer.
No, it's great, and we're gonna hopefully maybe we can even get these guys on the show one time. We'll see if we got an interview schedule for that. But yeah, we'd love to have the Paps Boys on the show. So guys, go check out them on YouTube. Make sure you check us out on YouTube. We are broadcasting the live show every Thursday night, 10 p.m. Central. We hope to see you guys there. And, of course, over at xjtalkshow.com, where you guys can interact with us and everybody else, including the Pat Boys, who are actually in the chat room tonight during the live show. So it's nice to be able to kind of interact with those guys as well.
I want to also say hello to Dean Murray that joined us in the new chat room on xjtalkshow.com. You can now watch the show live and chat with us, especially if we have interviews, because that means Josh and I have a lot of free time when we're listening to the interview. Hey, Dean, it's getting close. It's starting to get cooled off here in Texas, so that means that Matt and I are going to be coming up and going wheeling with you really soon. We also have Jake. I was giving Jake a hard time because, damn it, man, he was installing AC units instead of being here on time for the show. And I don't know about you, but I find that completely unacceptable.
Unacceptable. No, it's all good, guys. If you can always check out the entire show archive over at xjtalkshow.com. If you miss a show, we've got the videos up on YouTube as well. So either place, you can get your XJ Talk Show fix.
Yes. So until next week, you guys have a great Jeep week. And I almost forgot about our interview next week, Josh. We actually have an interview with an honest-to-goodness line worker at the Jeep Toledo plant, worked there from 1978 to 2009, building Jeeps. Not only the Cherokee, the real Cherokee, not this fake thing they got now, but also to Wranglers and the CJs, which is not a Wrangler technically, but the YJs, the TJs. This guy has touched them all. It may be that he's even touched yours. So, so it was a very fun interview, and we're going to be trying to bring you more interviews like this, like we did with Kyle DeMata and I had him pronounce his name like 4 times for me because I didn't want to mess it up, because you know how I am with names.
I'm horrible with names too. Yeah, we're going to try and bring you guys more and more interviews as we rolling through the year. And let us know if you got a suggestion of somebody you'd like for us to interview. Shoot us a call, drop us an email. Either way, let us know, and we'll see if we can't make it happen.
Yep. So till next week, 10 p.m. Central, right on xjtalkshow.com. This is Tony. You guys have a great Jeep week.
We'll see you next time.
Well, I think that worked out pretty good. Were you able to hear the interview okay?
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely.
I think he was on a cell phone, so it was a little hard going there at times.
Yeah, no, I mean, he sounded clear. I mean, it was there wasn't anything that I wasn't able to understand. I mean, it sounded fine. So, but, I'm listening, through headphones and,
that's true.
Live show. So, I don't know, maybe the podcast in a Jeep driving down the road, it might be a little different. I don't know. But it sounded good to me.
Actually, I think sometimes it sounds better when you have some background noise and you can't hear the subtle nuances that I hear happy and horrible. And I think you turn the volume up, and as long as you can understand it, I'm probably just being too anal about the audio quality. Speaking of audio quality, it dawned on me last night that maybe I'll have to build a box to put this computer that I have in and soundproof the box. Let it exhaust, have a place for air to come in, but actually have slats where it points it down, so if any sound is coming through that area, it would be towards the floor. And then the same thing out the back, maybe even a tube to exhaust it out of the room. It'd be nice to not have this kind of kind of a whistling noise that you hear in the background whenever I speak. So I don't know.
It's not bad.
No, it's not. And then when you're in a Jeep or in a vehicle or not, you don't have headphones on, you really don't hear it. Wow, I'm really not surprised. I shouldn't say surprised. I'm really happy to see the Paps boys there, and I was afraid that Dean and I had a fight, and I wasn't aware of it. Maybe I said something, and he's got a red Jeep, so what? He can't take offense at that.
Ooh, red Jeeps are sexy.
Poor Josh. You can repaint your vehicle. It doesn't have to be black.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I guess green Jeeps are okay.
I need to get a black Jeep one made just to wind you up. Oh, here it is. I saw you talking to Denver D1 today in chat. You need to encourage him to call in because we haven't had any Denver D1 interesting calls in a long time.
Yeah, no, I'll do that. I'll light a fire under him and get him to call in and give us some grief.
And if I remember, which is often the problem, I'll stick a link to you guys' YouTube channel. Talking to the Paps boys now, I'll stick a link in there to your YouTube channel on our show notes, so that people can go over there. I saw that they actually posted up a video in our Twitter feed. I don't know if I told you or not, Josh. And I watched that, and they did it just right because they have. Well, you've seen the video. In the first, what is it, 30 seconds, 45 seconds, or whatever, they do this stuff that's just funny, weird, laughing stuff that makes you laugh, and it sucks you in for the rest of the thing. It isn't just a hello, I'm Bubba, and here's what I'm doing with my Jeep. It has some showmanship to it, and it
does indeed.
It's really and the thing where and I think I'm getting the name right. The thing where they get where Tommy talks, and you can understand him, but it's a little, he has an accent, and it's a little off, and how they subtitle it, what he says, it's just like it's so wrong, it's so funny.
Oh no, I love it. No, I hope those guys keep the videos coming, and that YouTube video or that YouTube channel is going to grow leaps and bounds. Yeah. I know it.
Yeah. Well, it has good technical information. And I can't remember. I'm pulling a blank on the other person's name. I remember Tommy because the subtitles and stuff. Is the other person's name Clive?
You're gonna put me on the spot now. I can't. I'm torn.
Well, I thought you might. I thought that you might remember. And as far as being torn,
I've seen a couple of videos, and no, I'm horrible with names, as you know. So I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. Sorry. We'll get some retribution when we have you guys on the show.
Retribution? That sounds like vengeance or something.
Vengeance?
Yeah, retribution. I'm going to take vengeance out on this person because retribution on them.
Because I butchered their name.
Oh no! Well, you don't say you come retribute me. Well, maybe in prison. Oh, and if you guys, anybody that's new to the show, I forgot to explain. We record the audio podcast every week, and we figured if we're going to be here at the same time every week, we could do a live feed for anybody that wanted to actually come and view the show. Or actually, what I had in mind was just listen to the show. But there are no free services out there that allow you to stream audio. Strangely enough, there's plenty of free video streams with Ustream and most recently YouTube. I think there was another one that we never tried, like Dave or something like that. It was somebody's name, Jensen, or I can't remember. But so that's the reason why we do the video thing. And I figured if we're going to do the video, hell, we might as well have a scrolling background and picture-in-a-picture and green screen and just do the whole crap stuff. So what we do is we record the live audio for the podcast that's released every Monday, and about 15 minutes before showtime and about 15-20 minutes, it varies. After the show, we do this. We continue on the YouTube live streaming. So that's what we're doing here. We call this lovingly the post show. And I don't know, sometimes, at least for me personally, I think the pre and the post are more fun because it's just us chatting about crap.
Yeah, or sometimes they get really dry and boring. So it's a crapshoot.
Yeah. And if you've ever shot crap, you know how that's how unpleasant that can be. Oh, that's interesting. So Clyde. I couldn't remember if it was Clive or Clyde. But Tommy is Japanese. Oh, don't feel horrible. Everybody forgets names. And I don't know how you are, Josh, but I always remember a pretty girl's name. It's just
yeah, it doesn't matter if she's got a great rack or a pretty or if he's the guy next door. Honestly, I don't know my neighbor's name, and I've met him a dozen times. I went out there, drank a beer with him the other day, and
it's like the old Seinfeld thing. Oh, you.
Yeah, right.
Dolores? Yeah, call him Dolores. See if he's a Seinfeld fan. Well, I guess we'll wrap this thing up so that we can record our promo, which we like to do in private. It's much like when I eat at work. I don't eat with everybody else. I go off to my corner to eat because I don't like see people seeing me feed. Kind of the same thing with the promo. So we're going to record the promo, say goodnight to everybody. Thank you for showing up. Hope you enjoyed the interview. If you missed the interview in its entirety, Jake, you can hear the entire interview. You can hear the entire interview this coming Monday. You can get it off of iTunes, which we'd like for you to subscribe and leave us a review. You can also come over here to xjtalkshow.com, and both the audio podcast and this full video, YouTube video, will both be available Monday. So again, thanks a lot for coming. Make sure that you tell your friends. We're going to be talking to a Jeep line worker from a Toledo, Ohio plant next week, and we'll be doing the same old thing we do with Jeep news, and we've got voicemails. We've got a Josh's Subconscious that we didn't play for this week. We'll have next week, and doing a Jeep tip, a Jeep garage, Jeep archive, or something. So anyway, you guys have a great night. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you real soon. And I'll let Josh wrap it up.
I'm going to wrap this up with a nice pretty bow and say thank you for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week.
Gee, that was short. That's unusual.
How dare you.